Just a quick one today. In this episode, forget the Empire Strikes Back. This is the Sandbank Strikes Back. And this would be around the time that I'd sort of cue the Star Wars music. But then if I did that, then I'd probably get sued by, you know, by Disney and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, Disney. George Lucas would be there. Not that George Lucas would watch my stuff, but George Lucas would be like, sue him! Sue him! Come on, Disney! I'll see you in court, Mr. Mac Daddy! Why is George Lucas suddenly turned into Colonel Sanders? Now I'm gonna get sued by, I don't know, KFC. Okay, stop talking before I end up in court. Let's just roll the intro. So, yeah, I don't know if you saw on my TikTok, but this was what I found the other day when I came down to the boat. Yeah, that was weird. So basically what had happened is that I'd come down the boat, I was going to go for a little sail, I was going to get off on my mooring line and just whatever, and try and practice getting back onto my mooring line solo, single-handed, and yeah, I got into the boat and I went towards the heads and the floor went squelch, and I realised that my bilges were just full of water, and as you just saw now, I lifted the flooring up underneath the table, and it was just all completely full. So that was fun. So I didn't film any of that apart from that little bit until I because I went into panic mode. I was like, oh my god, the boat's going down, I'm sinking. Pam pan. But yeah, as it turned out, I think it's, I think I knew where it was coming from. I think it was the fact that we'd hit the sandbank. I think I've done something with one of the keel bolts. I could see a little bit of water coming through. So I'm back down today. So let's have a look at how it's looking after 24 hours of being dry. So this is the current state of affairs. This is where everything, well, it's not where everything was left. That was not left like that. But let's get down and see. I can see there's a bit of extra water down here already, which wasn't there before. So let's chase that back and see what's occurring. So as we can see, these are dry. It's all dry in here, dry in here, dry in here. This was all wet. All of this was like, well, these ones weren't. These ones were pretty dry in all fairness. What seems to have happened is it was wet here, where the keel bolts are, and then it seems to have kind of come over here, and then it was starting to fill on this side, if that makes sense. But yes, this was all wet. Now, what's weird is that these compartments are wet. These ones there. Now that one, did I put a hole in there? I can't remember if I did or not. I can't remember if I put a hole under there. Yeah, I did. Did I? I can't remember. Anyway, right. So I've got water coming in here. That's my main bilge. That one tends to come from in the engine. I'll pull the top off that in a minute and just make sure that's not wet in there. This one tends to come from under here, And then I don't know where those go to, or whether these are connected. There's water there, but there's also a bit of water in that one as well. I think what I'll do is if I empty all these out first, then I'll get a proper idea about where the water is actually coming from. But there is, as I suspected, water here, just in that compartment. That's dry, those bits are dry. So, what does that mean, Nicholas? What does that mean? Is it coming from there? Because it looks like there's a bit of, I don't know, you can start to see that, there's a bit of rusting around there. I don't know. Right. Let's try and dry this up, and I will, yeah, figure this out. Okay, that engine bay, that bit that filters into this main bilge, that's all dry, so that's good. Let's move all of this stuff and see what's happening down there. Okay, so making progress. This is good. I've tidied up all the water, thrown that away. There's water coming. There was water, sorry, not coming from, but there was water in here. Mainly in this one, not that one. All right, that's the port side. There's your heads there. That's the port side there. I'm not sure where the water has come from for that, because I did clean it out. So I'm going to have a little look under there in a minute if I can, to find out what or how or where water can get into there. Oh, I wonder. Seacocks. Seacocks under there. I'll have to check that in a minute. Ho ho ho! Nikolai. Okay, then I couldn't understand why there was water coming here. And if you notice, there's water there again. Because I went to wash my sponge, and I press the thing here, no water comes out there, but water comes out there. So I found out that there's a water problem. It's not coming from that keel bolt, although that does seem to be a thing that's still leaking. But I don't know. So I'm gonna have to check this pipe now behind this sink, because that's obviously not connected. So cool. Okay, so this is underneath the sink. As you can see, there's my drain pipe going down. In the back then, I've got this one which is going up to the tank, up to the tap, sorry. But at the bottom, you probably can't see, there you go, there's actually a copper tube, and this copper tube is supposed to go into, let me bring you back up again, this copper tube is supposed to go into this one here. So they've obviously come undone, and as you can see from the bottom of the, well, you can't see the bottom, but if I show you the bottom, there's the water all down there, which has been running down through there and then back. So that explains some of the issue with regards to the water. So that's good. So that must be where some of the water's coming from. Obviously not all of it though, so I think I've got a couple of things going on here rather than just one thing. Cool, right, let's get this one done first of all. Okay, so this should just be a Jubilee clip, which is going to release first of all. Come on. There you go. And then we need to get this bad boy back on. Come on. Okay, so that's definitely on there. Let's loosen it a bit more because I can't see it getting over that copper pipe. There you go. So that's there now. I just got to tighten this. This is really difficult. Well, it's not difficult, it's not a difficult job, it's just fiddly when you're trying to film it at the same time as well and look half competent, but I think I expect too much with that. Come on. Okay. Something wrong with this. It's actually just not tightening up. Yeah, that's not tightening at all, Nicholas. That's probably why. Right. Right, okay. Time to find a Jubilee clip. Okay, so I think I'm done here today. I've tried to dry up as much as I can. I've fixed that pipe. I don't know if actually this water that was under here is actually from my water tank, and maybe it was just kind of just leaking. Could be that. Could have been that. But basically what I've done, let's have a look here. This bilge area has all been dried out. That runs from this one down here, which you can't see. There was a little bit of water there, but I don't know if you can see on here. You can see the water line going up there, and unfortunately this laminate has started to come off. That veneer, sorry, has started to come off, and that's, yeah, so that's gonna need, this bit's gonna need replacing at some point, so I'm gonna have to replace that. In here has all been dried. Everything in here is now bone dry. Even this keel bolt here, there doesn't seem to be anything from that, and it's still just turned high tide. All of these now are dry. These are all dried out. Those are all dried out. This is all dried out. So now I've got no more water in my bilges whatsoever. So I'm gonna come back in maybe about 2-3 days time and check on what the situation is, because then I'll be able to see and trace back where this water, if there's any water coming to it. If there's no water, then it must have been the water tank, because I tried pumping the water through and there's no water coming through there. So I don't know if just the water tank just decided to empty. So we'll see anyway. We'll see what's going on there. Like keel bolt, I tried to tighten that keel bolt. I tried to loosen the top one so that I could tighten the bottom one. I could not shift it for love or money. So I'm just going to see what the situation is there at the moment. I don't want to mess around with it too much. If it's just a little bit of a leak, which, like, you know, it just fills up every now and again over a week or so, I'm down the boat most weeks anyway, so I can, you know, I can manage that with towels and just monitoring. But anyway, cool. Right, I will see you in like a couple of seconds, but for me it's going to be a couple of days, so I'll see you on the flip side. And welcome back, guys. So I've left it a couple of days. I'm trying to stand up here today. It's a bit rocky down here today. We're just about, well, the tide is rising, so it's flooding as we speak, but the wind is creating a little bit of chop. So some of the boats are like rocking a bit. So it is what it is. That's part of owning a boat. I usually hate being down in the saloon when it starts rocking, because I start getting all that motion sickness and stuff like that. I don't really cope very well with it, but I'm usually good. As long as I've got something to focus on and stuff like that, it doesn't bother me that much. So I'm actually feeling okay. So, not that you asked, but I'm just saying. So, like I say, a couple of days has gone past. There's been a bit of a development. So my bilges, all these bolts, absolutely bone dry. In here, that's all dry. In here is again absolutely bone dry. So I think it's fair to say that because when I did the foot pump and tried to get water out of the tap, there was no water coming out. I think it was my water tank, so I take back what I said about the sandbank. So I'm sorry, sandbank. That's me just apologising to inanimate objects. So yeah, yeah. So I think that's actually what it was. I'm gonna actually now scrub down this bilge. I've got some orange scented cleaning spray that I'm gonna scrub it all with, so it's all nice and smelling nice and stuff. And then I'm gonna put these floors back down. Am I gonna do that yet? I'll probably give it a day or two. It's only been 2 days. But it's bone dry. It's bone dry and it's been through 2 tides. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm gonna clean up first. I got myself some nice marigolds, and I'm looking like the proper job. Like literally, I am. If I didn't have just the moustache, it'd be like that Queen music video, wouldn't it? Yeah. Normality is restored. Yeah, I am happy that it was just, seems to be the water tank. That water tank is pretty much, it seems to be empty. So I think I had a leak in there. It does pose the question, where is that water like leaking from? But I think I'm going to tackle that in the winter. It's going to be one of my winter jobs. I've got a couple of winter jobs to do, so that obviously keeps me ticking over with DIYs. Although saying that, I'm in sailing season right now, and all I seem to be doing is fixing mistakes and disasters and DIY anyway. I think they've done like one sail this year. It's fantastic. But anyway, cool. Yeah, so I'm happy this one's kind of resolved, and the boat isn't sinking, so that's good. Yeah, if you like my content, or you liked it today, give me a like, give me a thumbs up and what have you, and thank you very much for watching, and as always, remember to share, subscribe, and I will see you, hopefully, doing a bit of sailing on the next video, but until then, I'll catch you on the flip side.